She's a brick, don't house. She's mighty, mighty, just letting it all hang out. Oh, she's a brick house. She's mighty, mighty, just letting it all hang out. What's up, motherfuckers? It's fried dizzle in the hizzle, my nizzle for shizzle, dizzle, gizzle, whizzle, dizzle, dizzle, doo dee dee doo doo dee doo dee doo doo dee doo dee doo doo dee doo dee doo dee doo. That's the type of mood I'm in today. What's up? We're just gonna let some people trickle on up in here. People should be getting notified. Cobra Kai's in the house. Let's go, dude. All right, Cobra Kai's in the house. So if I come over here and I just check this, is the stream okay? Stream Elements is running over there. For some reason, we're not getting no main squeeze up over here. Let me just, there's no chat on the main screen. There's no chat on the main screen. All right. Let me just see here. Did it send it? I'm live right now. Please come say hi. Just go like this and hit it like that. Hit it like this and say at. I'm live right now. I'm live right now. All right. We should have peeps up in here. It's telling me that, okay, we're good. What's up? Let me just refresh all these pages. Let me just refresh. What's up? Queen Trip is in the his house. The his house. Queen Trip is in the his house. What's up, Sky Killer? What's up, Sky Killer? What's up, Sky Killer? Okay, if I move like this, let's see here. Okay, it should be moving just fine. I'll up over here on Facebook. Alrighty. Cobra Kai, what's good, homie? If you're here, say hey. How's your Friday doing today, mate? Cheerio, mate. Happy Friday. What's up, Jonathan Squires? Hell yeah, bro. Yep, sent it. Let's go. How are y'all doing today? What's going down on this lovely Friday, bro? What's going down on Friday? Who's here? How's the Matrix treating everybody? What's up, motherfuckers? We got some shit to get into today. Today, we are going, hey. Today we're gonna get into lots of different X clips. We will probably end with some documentary stuff towards the end, maybe some Mind Unveiled, maybe some God Eaters. I think we're going to play God Eaters today, actually, because guess what? Guess what happened today? If you guys don't know who Chuck Swindoll is, he is the Cash, what's up, bro? He is the creator of this God Eaters thing that we are going to show at the end, and he actually reached out to me and liked my DMs, bro, trying to get Chuck Swindoll up on the screen. You know what I'm saying, bro? Trying to get Chuck Swindizzle up on here, bro. We got 3 on YouTube. Preston, Jonathan, what's up? We've got 10 on Twitch. What's up, dude? What's up, motherfuckers? Pretty Ricky is on a 50 stream streak. Holy shit, bro. Let's go, bro. 50 streams, dude. Damn. That's insane, bro. Thank you for being here. I love you guys. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. What's up? Pretty Ricky. What's up, everyone? Who's here? We got 3 on YouTube. Okay. We got 2 on Facebook. Okay. If you're on Facebook, please don't be shy. Please just smash the like button. They're definitely trying to fuck with me over there. Up over here on Meta, they're fucking around over here. Trying to fucking hold me down, bro. They're trying to hold me down. Uh-oh, fuck, they got to keep on moving. Oh, I got a little song for you real quick. Can I play a song for you? It's an AI song. This is the type of mood I'm in today. Okay? This is the type of mood I'm in.
Hey, Orange Pig, America first? Oops. Oh boy, that was the slogan you sold. But baby's pulling strings and is getting cold. We're not just fighting for Iran, here it's clear. Your people reached out to us, yeah, we got the DMs here. If one nation's gonna stand against the Epstein regime's fear, it's us to the last breath, we've been doing it for years. We're standing here for everyone, your system ever wrong, they've known all along. The enemy was always you. The real Brit wore a suit and sung a patriotic song while selling their own citizens and calling it strong. Stealing from your own people, making them bleed, taking tax dollars just to fund your own greed. They waking up to the lies, the illusions of birth. You screamed America first, now you put losers first. Make Israel great again. Your government is run by pedophiles. They ordered you to die for Israel. They ordered you to die for Israel. They lied to you all. You saw everything.
Hey, what's good in the hood? That's the type of mood I'm in today, bruh. Your government is run by pedophiles and they ordered you to die for Israel. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, motherfuckers? Big ups, big ups, big ups. We got 4, 4, and 18. You guys ready to get into this? You guys ready to get into this? Y'all ready for this? All right, ready? Today's mindful message, okay, you guys? I need a round of applause. And just make sure you be lighting up this motherfucking... See, for some reason, over here, it's telling me I don't got a chat over here. Let me get this chat trying to come back up. What's going down with this chat? There's the chat ski on the screen. Ski like it's supposed to be ski. Can we just light up the chat, dude? What's good? What's good? What's good? Can we light up the chat no matter where you were at? Ooh, because I'm a poet and you didn't even know it. A chicka chicka what? Chicka chicka, yeah. Cheers. What if the most advanced spiritual technology in the universe is not AI? It's not a quantum computer. It's not some secret government device. It's a human nervous system that actually remembers it carries a soul. If that already did something to you, please drop Team Human in the comments so I know that you're one of us. We're living in a time where AI can clone your face, your voice, your mannerisms, your memories. Deepfake laws are being written to decide which simulations are acceptable as long as there's a little tiny label somewhere. Spiritual TikTok is casually talking about quantum jumping, timeline shifting, raising your frequency, and prayer as a quantum technology. And spiritual teachers are out there saying that 2026 kicks off a new frequency cycle, a heightened energetic era where your inner state matters even more. So let's stop pretending you're just a consumer in all of this. You're not just watching the system. You're part of the system. You are the hardware. You are the lab. You are a node in the grid. The question is not, is the world spiritual and quantum? The question is, have you remembered what you are? Quantum physics says at the deepest level, reality is not a pile of solid objects. It's fields and probabilities, like waves of potential that become specifics when there's interaction, relationship, and observation. Entanglement says, once systems interact, they can stay linked, correlated across distances in ways that make separate a lot less clear. Spirituality has always said everything is connected. Inner and outer mirror each other. Consciousness is fundamental, not a glitch. Biology and energy research add, your heart generates a measurable electromagnetic field around your body. Your brain produces different waves, deepening different waves depending on whether you're anxious, focused, meditative, or asleep. Your nervous system consistently broadcasts safe or unsafe, open or closed, into the space around you. Put that together and you get this. You're a walking, breathing spiritual quantum tech, broadcasting into the field all day long. You don't need to become that. You already are. The only question is, what signal are you sending? Now here's the conspiratorial layer. While spiritual folks are talking about raising their vibration, there are entire infrastructures trying to aim that vibration for you. Your algorithmic feeds are engineered to keep your nervous system in fight or flight, outrage, fear, comparison, and chaos. AI systems are optimized to predict and shape your behavior, not just reflect it. Laws debating which fake media is fine as long as it technically warns you somewhere in the fine print. If someone can control what you see, they can influence what you feel. If they can influence what you feel, they definitely can influence what you believe. And if they can influence what you believe, they will definitely be able to influence what you accept. That's not a theory. That's a business model. The battlefield is not just out there in politics and headlines. It's right here. Your nervous system, your attention, your heart field. So let's go deeper spiritually. You did not incarnate in this timeline by accident. Out of all the centuries you could have dropped into, you showed up in one where machines can mimic people, information can't automatically be trusted, everything is accelerating, people are spiritually starving and emotionally overloaded at the same time. Why would your soul pick that? Because this is a master level class in remembering who you are, when everything can be faked. Authentic presence becomes sacred. When frequency talks isn't just marketing, it's regulated, coherent nervous systems becomes the rebellion, bro. When everyone is screaming their truth, a quiet, clear, grounded heart is a portal. You're not just here to make it through. You're here to become a stable signal in a scrambled field. Think of your nervous system like this. Your body is the hardware. Your nervous system is the operating system. Your attention is the cursor. Your intention is the code. If your hardware is exhausted and neglected, the OS glitches. If your OS is flooded with junk input, the cursor jumps when the loudest thing tells it to go. Then you say, my manifestation must be broken. My intuition doesn't work. I'm not spiritually enough. No. Your hardware is overheated, bro. Your operating system is full of malware. And you're blaming the soul. So the real spiritual practice in 2026 isn't just tarot cards, candles, and crystals. It's also turning down what scrambles your signal. Sleeping like your body actually matters. Breathing like you're allowed to fully exist in this moment. Regulating your nervous system so your intuition isn't drowned out by constant alarm. Choosing your information diet as carefully as you choose who watches your kids and guards your home. Prayer, meditation, breathwork, embodiment. These aren't just aesthetic routines. They're literally frequency calibration. They're how you say, I will be the only one piloting this human, not the algorithm. And this is where Team Human actually matters. Not as a hashtag, but as a choice. Team Human means you choose to stay human in a system that keeps trying to turn you into data. You choose compassion over dehumanization, starting with yourself. You choose curiosity over blind belief, whether the narrative is mainstream or conspiratorial. You choose presence over permanent disassociation. You choose your own spiritual quantum tech, mind, body, and soul, in service of life, not just in service of the feed. You become the person whose presence changes the room, not because you're loud, but because your field is coherent. Your eyes are actually here. Your heart is actually online. That is what it means to be advanced technology in a human body. So today, here's the ask. Here's your call to action. Just close one tab of chaos. Take 10 slow breaths, like you're rebooting the sacred technology computer that you are. Speak one sentence to yourself that is true and kind, not programmed and cruel. Do one small thing that makes the space around you more peaceful, clearer, and more honest. You don't have to fix the grid. You just have to tune your node. Because in a world of deep fakes, bots, and weaponized vibes, the most radical thing that you can be is an embodied, awake, regulated human who remembers that it has a soul. And if something in you knows that's you, if something in you knows that's who you're here to be, please drop Team Human in the comments so the rest of us know that we're not doing this alone. I love you. She boy, what's up, motherfuckers? She, what's up, dude? Team Humans in the house. Let's go, dude. Fucking A, bro. I feel electrified.
If the public ever saw the files, man, the planet would shake from the level of filth and the crimes in your wake. No wonder Jeff called you the worst, you degenerate snake. You claimed you never set foot. You went 40 plus times. You sick bastard, you cooked. We stepping up to the plate. Epstein regime gotta fall. You fake Christian elite sacrificing the ball. Demon, you talk real big for a man with tiny hands. Tiny hands, tiny things, tiny everything. We saw everything. And word got out, the smallness kinda expands. No wonder all those rage tweets, all those desperate rants. Overcompensating bully, always causing a scene. You said you love losers. Well, look at your team. Your government is run by. Your government is run by pedophiles. They ordered you to die for Israel. They ordered you to die for Israel. They lied.
They lied to you. Oh. All right. What's up, motherfuckers? What's up, motherfuckers? Who's here? Team Humans in the house? Team Human in the house? Oh, you guys want the Discord link? Let me get you that Discord link for everybody who wants to join the motherfucking Discord. Let me get this right here. Damn, we got like over 250 up in the Discord, bro. Who's it? If you want to join the Discord, you go ahead and join the Discord. The Discord. Who wants to join the Discord? I'm not going to move forward until at least one person joins the Discord. We're looking for that right now. You know what we're also looking for, bro? We're also just going to ask, just please, you guys. Please, you guys. Tripoverdrip on YouTube, bro. Tripoverdrip on YouTube, bro. We're at 928 subscribers, bro. We're trying to hit 1,000 subs, bro. I'll drop this link in the chat as well. Let me just click on you. Go. Let me just click. Bam. I'm dropping that in the link too, bro. Dropping that in the chat too, bro. Tripoverdrip on YouTube. Please, if you haven't yet, just come over here and hit the old sub-a-rusco. The subby to dubby bubbies. Dang, bro, I'm sweating. I gotta open this window. I'm feeling in the mood today. I'm up in a little mood. What's up, Mandy? What's up? Kaitsu, Andrew, Reginald, Monica, what's up? Quila. If you're on your Facebook, say what's up. If you get over to YouTube, you better say what's up, YouTube. What's up, motherfuckers? All right, you guys ready to get into this? You think my audio is doubled? It is. I have this mic right here open so you can hear the videos. I tried to get this thing to where it would just let me play straight from my thing, but it wouldn't let me do my thing, so I got to figure out the thing. Okay, check this out. Ready? Here we are. The murder charge against the man accused of killing a man who allegedly raped his teenage daughter has been dismissed. Aaron Spencer decided to run for sheriff in Lonoke County, Arkansas after being charged with second-degree murder. In 2024, Spencer allegedly woke up to find his 14-year-old daughter missing from her bed. After searching the neighborhood, Spencer reportedly found his daughter in a car with a 67-year-old Michael Fossler. Spencer then chased the car down before driving it off the road. Then he allegedly shot and killed Fossler. At the time of the shooting, Fossler was facing numerous child sex crimes involving Spencer's daughter. Spencer's wife previously said that their daughter was targeted, groomed, and ultimately raped by the boyfriend of a family friend. Special Circuit Court Judge Ralph Wilson Jr. dismissed the case, citing local law enforcement mishandled the dash cam and SD card evidence in Spencer's vehicle. Bruh, this is the type of shit we need, bro. We need motherfuckers out there taking shit in their own hands. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying goodness they gotta kill them, but you gotta do something, because the pedophiles are definitely being protected, homie. Let's just hear what old Aaron Spencer has to say.
Hello, Lone Oak. My name is Aaron Spencer. Many of you know my story. I'm the father who acted to protect his daughter when the system failed. I'm also a husband, a combat veteran of the 82nd Airborne Division, a contractor, and a farmer. And through my own fight for justice, I have seen firsthand the failures in law enforcement and in our circuit court. And I refuse to stand by while others face these same failures. That's why I'm announcing my candidacy to run for Lone Oak County Sheriff. This campaign isn't about me. It's about every parent, every neighbor, every family who deserves to feel safe in their homes and safe in their community. It's about restoring trust, where neighbors know law enforcement is on their side and families know that they will not be left alone in a moment of need. Together, we can build a safer, stronger Lone Oak County for every family. I'm Aaron Spencer, and I'm running for Sheriff of Lone Oak County.
Let's go, Aaron Spencer. I don't know about you, but I think that motherfucker should definitely be the sheriff, bro. You know what I mean? You know what I'm fucking saying, bro? We need more people like him, bro. We need more people like him. Like old Aaron Spencer. Just wanted to bring that up to you. Oh yeah, weird. Have you guys seen this shit yet? 3 men wearing hazmat suits were seen entering the sewers in New York. Rumor has it is that these individuals were actually in this little fucking sewer for 2 hours, bro. Let me cut this. Let's just check this out. Oh yeah, they're just going right up into you. They're just gonna go and just get down up in the sewers. Wonder what they're doing in there. You know what I mean? Just like right in the middle of the road. They're not even giving a fuck. People are around. They just go jump up in the sewers. That's where all the tunnels are. Oh yeah, we got this nice little clip I brought today from friend of the show, Ian Carroll.
Been a bad idea, but Elon posted some super Israel Zionist propaganda, and I responded, for being so smart, you're exceptionally bad at understanding this one issue. It's kind of weird. And I got a lot of likes on that post, and he responded like, what am I missing? And so naturally, I wrote a freaking essay about it, and it took 40 minutes to get 11K to 2K ratio on that. So here's some of my concerns. And right at the start, let's just be clear. I'm not saying that all Jews are in on some Jewish evil conspiracy to run the world, okay? That would be a straw man argument, and that's not what I'm claiming. We're talking about Israel there. And these are just some of the most obvious ones. First off, that AIPAC has purchased the seats of like 90% of our Congress, give or take. I made a whole thread with all my sources, and in this case, I used a video that I made myself where I cited a whole bunch of sources about AIPAC and about JFK trying to get them to register as a foreign agent the months before he got shot, and then they never registered. Secondly, that Israel's obviously the state sponsor of Jeffrey Epstein. He was an Israeli operation through and through, from his handler being Ehud Barak, the ex-prime minister of Israel, as well as the ex-head of Israeli military intelligence. His funding was from Les Wexner, one of the world's richest Zionist philanthropists, and he was accused openly by ex-Mossad assets of being Mossad. And that's not to mention his connection to Robert Maxwell, one of the most infamous Mossad spies ever. In that case, I used another one of my videos where I cited a whole bunch of evidence, and I'm just using them because they're fun ways to consume a lot of primary sources and evidence very quickly. But in most of these cases, I've made tons of different videos, and there's tons of evidence out there about all these claims. These are not complex claims. I mean, in this case, the most obvious and direct source is just To Read One Nation Under Blackmail by Whitney Webb. I'm on my...
Wait a second. Do you mean this book? This book?
third read through right now. Next, that Israel is the only nation who has a de facto sanction, but it's actually secret and unsanctioned nuclear program. And that's a program that they stole from the United States. Look into the Apollo affair, NUMEC, the Dimona nuclear facility. One great source, if you like video, is this NUMEC documentary produced by Ryan Dawson. It's available for free on Rumble. It's an amazing resource that is super, super diligent. Tons of primary sources in here. Shout out to Ryan Dawson. And then that Jews, Muslims, and Christians live side by side in peace in Palestine before the Rothschilds purchased the country from Great Britain during World War I. See the Balfour Declaration. Literally begins with the words, "Dear Lord Rothschild." Like, how many families in this world have ever received a letter from the largest empire in the world, the British Empire, saying, "Dear family, we give you a country"? When you dig into what they did to get this country, it's not great. And then when you learn about the history of the founding of Israel and the paramilitary groups that fought to found Israel, Lehi, Irgun, and Haganah, look them up. Lehi and Irgun were declared terrorist organizations by Israel themselves after they were founded because the whole international community was so pissed. You can source that straight off Wikipedia, but you can dig way deeper on it if you want to. Worth digging into how Lehi actually wanted to be allied with the Nazis because they thought it would be a more effective way to get Jews into Palestine. These guys were like bombing British civilians to make the British want to leave, not just bombing Palestinian civilians, both of which are war crimes. And then the leaders and founders of these terrorist organizations went on to be the prime ministers of Israel on multiple occasions for the next 30 years. You start to dig into the history of the previous prime ministers of Israel, and there's some super dark, violent people that ran this country. And that Israel's a foreign nation halfway across the world that has no business receiving my tax dollars. Why are we sending them billions of dollars of our money while our country is burning and overrun by illegal immigration and all these other problems? Go ask Grok how many billions of dollars we've sent to Israel. That's my money. Why are my tax dollars
Love you, Scott.
going to this other country? I don't want, what? Israelis have free healthcare and free education and shit. And we have homeless people on the streets, and no one can afford a fucking thing over here. What's going on? This one up here got cut off, but there was an entire Israeli surveillance program leading into 9/11 titled the DEA report. Is this whole government report about these Israeli art students that were entering government buildings all across the continental United States.
Let's just go ahead and look at these documents that Ian's talking about. You want to look at these documents with me for a sec? Let's look at these documents for a second. Let's go ahead. Is this the right one? Can you bring up the information about the art students and 9/11? I am streaming, yes. Yeah. Just grab my cup, please. Thank you. Not today. The Israeli art students in 9/11, what the documents show. This is one of the most unusual threads in the 9/11 documents collection. The key source is Wayne Madsen's special report dated August 7th, 2005, titled The Israeli Art Students Movers Mystery Solved. cross-reference with the material from an FBI report section that also documents the phenomenon through the lens of the National Counterintelligence Center, warning posted March 2001. Here's what the documents reveal. The NCIC warning, 6 months before 9/11. In March 2001, the National Counterintelligence Center posted a public warning that federal employees had reported suspicious activities connected with individuals representing themselves as foreign students, selling or delivering artwork. Go upstairs. I love you. The warning stated individuals have observed both males and females attempting to bypass facility security and enter federal buildings. If challenged, the individuals state that they are delivering artwork from a studio in Miami, Florida called Universal Art Inc., or they are art students and are looking for opinions regarding their work. The NCIC noted that these individuals were aggressive and also had gone to the private residences of senior federal officials under the guise of selling art, meaning they had somehow obtained home addresses of senior government officials. At that point, 2 of the students had already been arrested for immigration violations, possessing counterfeit immigration papers, and identification. The documents describe an operation far larger than a few individuals, according to the Madsen report and corroborating FBI sources. 120 Israeli art students attempted to penetrate dozens of federal office buildings and visited the homes of scores of U.S. officials. Nearly 200 were eventually picked up and similarly deported back to Israel. The phenomenon had begun occurring since at least the beginning of 2000 and spiked in November 2000, with a geographic spread later extending to Wisconsin, Oklahoma, and Los Angeles. Targets included the DEA, INS, Federal Protective Services, ATF, FBI, courthouses, and military bases. The DEA's International Security Unit compiled a secret government dossier on the activity in cooperation with the NIS sometime in the summer of 2001. The cover story unravels. When detained and questioned, the art students claimed that they were either from Bezalel University in Jerusalem or the University of Jerusalem. But federal investigations found that there was no University of Jerusalem, and Bezalel confirmed that it had no record of any of the students ever being enrolled there. The individuals, mostly in their the early to mid-20s, said they had answered ads in Israeli newspapers but could not identify their bosses. Many had recently served in the Israeli military and intelligence units. Insane. Come on. Open your eyes, motherfucker.
I linked to the entire DEA report as well as specific snippets. It's a massive report. I've read it through the whole thing. And it's like hundreds of instances of Israeli spies posing.
Oh, Melissa Clark, I see you here. Let me bring you in close, Melissa Clark. Let me show you something. He didn't respond, okay? He didn't respond, but he did like my messages. You see who that is? He did like my DMs. My last DM said, I would love to have you on my stream, bro, and chat with my community. Hopefully we get Chuck Swindell up on this mug, dude. Hopefully we can get old Chuck Dizzle up on here, bruh. Old Chuck Deezy. Old Chuck Dizzle. Chuck Swindell Jr. He answered my DMs, or at least he like emoted what I said. Faux shizzle my nizzle brizzle.
His art students trying to access government buildings all across the United States, clearly conducting surveillance operations on U.S. soil in the years 2000 and 2001. So our greatest ally, but they're spying on us right before 9/11 in a big way. And then, like, call it an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory all you want, but, like, there are FBI documents clearly showing that the fake Israeli moving companies all across the Eastern...
I need help finding that email, Melissa, if you could DM me if I'm able to have it like that, but...
seaboard leading into 9/11, and that members of these moving companies...
We're actually going to start God Eaters at the end of the stream today, and then after that, we're going to freaking do some breath work, probably.
Were out photographing themselves with the view of the attack on the trade centers the day before the attack, flicking lighters at the towers. And then the day of the attack, they were in position up to an hour before, witnessed by multiple people, up to an hour before the attacks, in position to take photos and film of the attack. Never got any answers, and that is all documented in official FBI reports that you can read yourself. I linked to the full FBI, all the documents, as well as to a 2.5-hour video of me breaking them down. It's very clear when you read it that we never got any answers, but the investigation got squashed, the Israelis got deported, no answers whatsoever. And I'm not even saying that like Israel necessarily did 9/11 at all. Like, I don't know. All I know is that we have serious questions, and the silence is deafening. But it's right there in the reports. And I don't know if you benefited from us taking down Afghanistan and from us taking down Iraq, but I didn't. But I know that Israel did. And I know that they were writing things like the Clean Break Report leading into that era with people like Richard Pearl, all these neocons. And they were explicitly saying that in the coming decades, we need to take out Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, Iran. Like, at this point, Iran is the only company on that list, or country, on the list that was put out in the Clean Break Report that has not been overthrown by the U.S. empire on behalf of Israel. In fact, my generation has been distinctly robbed of, like, life, of money, of our freedoms, of, like, our American way of life on behalf of going to the Middle East to fight wars for Israel that we have no business fighting, with made-up intelligence from Israel that we very well knew was fake at
I love you, babe.
the time. Like weapons of mass destruction, those were Israeli intelligence reports fed to our CIA that fed them to our president and our security personnel. That's all, not to mention just my obvious objections to the collective punishment, mass surveillance, forced starvation, bombing of refugee camps, brutal murdering of women and children that's been going on in Gaza and the West Bank for years, for decades, long before October 7th. And I'm not...
Let's just find out real quick, okay? You guys ready to hear some of this? Okay, so I need to know some information prior to October 7th. How long have the Palestinians and the Israeli people been fighting amongst each other?
The conflict between Israelis and Palestinians has roots that stretch back over a century. After World War I, the British took control of the region known as Palestine, which had an Arab majority and a Jewish minority. Tensions rose particularly after the 1917 Balfour Declaration, in which Britain supported creating a national home for Jewish people in Palestine. Throughout the 1920s to 1940s, Jewish immigration increased, fueling tensions with Palestinian Arabs. In 1947, the United Nations proposed partitioning the land into separate Jewish and Arab states, leading to the declaration of Israel's independence in 1948 and the First Arab-Israeli War. Over the decades, there have been multiple wars, uprisings known as intifadas, and ongoing disputes over borders, land, and rights. So the struggle has been going on in various forms for over 100 years.
Okay, so for that 100 years, what is the total count of human lives lost on the Palestinian side?
It's difficult to get a single precise figure covering the full century, especially since different sources focus on different periods. For context, estimates from various organizations indicate that tens of thousands of Palestinians have been killed over the decades. Some recent tallies suggest that since the early 20th century, the number of Palestinian casualties could be over 70,000, with more than 70,000 reported killed just in recent conflicts involving Gaza. However, these figures vary depending on the source and the period measured, and they often don't distinguish between civilians and combatants.
Crazy. All right, thank you.
I'm not saying that I like promote the violence of October 7th. Like, I wish that we would have no violence.
If you're the same and wish that we just had no violence, please can you just affirm to me that we are one and the same and just comment no violence in the chat?
But this is a graph of the number of hostages held by Israel and the number of hostages held by Hamas as of 7/31/2024 from mainstream sources, okay? This has been the state of affairs over there forever, my entire lifetime and more. Any honest look at the lives of the Palestinians, it is very clear who is the oppressor and who is the oppressed. And if it's not clear to you, then you should really go to Rumble and watch this documentary called The Occupation of the American.
All right, Team Human, if you're on Twitch, I need your help. For some reason, for like the last 15 minutes, we've had literally 0 people watching on Facebook. It just seems weird, bro. Why can we not just have just Discord and just conversations about topics on platforms like Facebook? You know what I mean? Can y'all just go to Facebook and just light the chat up, hit the like button as many times as you can until your fingers bleed? I'm just kidding, but can you just help me out? Go to Facebook real quick, fuck up the algorithm. All of a sudden 10, 15 people jump on there and just start lighting it up. Zucky is sucky. You're right. You can just write that in the comments. You can just write Zucky is sucky when you get to Facebook. Just like, boo that man. Boo! Boo that man. No, it's alright, Scruffmeister. You're good, bro. You're good.
American mind. And it's all about how Israel realized partway through the 80s that if they did not develop a state-of-the-art propaganda campaign, they were going to lose the ideological war on the global stage, because Americans were super not down with the video footage that was coming back from the bombing of refugee camps in places like Sabra and Shatila, among many others. And if American support for Israel was ever pulled, Israel is completely fucked. And they knew that. And so they moved in the 80s from just a warfare campaign against the Palestinians to a propaganda campaign targeting Americans, because that is the most important thing for Israel to do. Hence,
I'm just genuinely curious. Do you think there is no right or wrong answer? And this shouldn't really be a political question that gets one side or the other side angry. But do you think that the country of Israel is paying for a propaganda campaign for the American population to sway one way or the other the beliefs and how the world or Americans portray that specific country? Do you believe that they spend money to do that? Just a question.
the entire American discourse about Israel today. Watch this documentary. It will clear it right up. And it is mostly Jewish people speaking in this documentary. Okay? Let's be really clear here. This is not about the Jews. Most the dope Jewish people realize that Israel is the worst thing ever for the Jewish faith, because it makes it like, if you equate Israel with Judaism, that's fucked. I would never want the people that are sponsoring Jeffrey Epstein to represent my religion. That's horrible. And criticizing the government of Israel has nothing to do with criticizing Judaism.
Amen. Can I get an amen, please? That is definitely the feel and the vibe for Team Human as well. Is that we cannot allow ourselves to correlate the Jews that are good Jews with the Jews that are Epstein Jews. I'm just going to say it like that, because that's really how it has to be said, bro. It's like the good Jews and the Epstein Jews. There's a very big gap between those. I hope you can see it. I'm trying my best to understand the things I'm talking about to the best of my ability. That's dead ass why I bought the Torah, bro. And if I be honest with you, we could just read the first little passage of the Torah, and it might sound something quite similar to what you've heard before. Genesis 1, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and empty. Darkness was on the surface of the deep, and God's Spirit was hovering over the surface of the water. Verse 3, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw the light and saw that it was good. God divided the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. There was an evening and there was a morning, the first day. I'm trying my best. You know what I mean? Kind of sounds like the Bible, if I'm being honest with you. So if I'm going to have to read the whole thing to come to that understanding. It says the 5 books of Moses. So I'm trying my best to understand the things I'm talking about, because I want to be able to articulate exactly the difference between what I feel and think. That's the next book. That one is another one I want to read. I also got the Bhagavad Gita, you know what I'm saying? I bought a big ass old Catholic Bible and shit. You know what's another cool book? Can I show you guys another cool book real fast? I brought a whole bunch of books together streaming. I didn't even show them all to you. Let's just start from the top, dude. Let's just start from the top. Thank you, Melissa, for the channel recommendation of Esoterica. Let's just start from the top. We got Chaos with Charles Manson and the CIA. Graham Hancock and the Fingerprints of the Gods. What I actually, let's see, where am I at in this book? I am on page, where are you? 98. And it's talking a lot about Virachucha, and which is a god that basically came to this part of the world in Tiwanaku in South America. I've been thinking about it actually for doing like a book club, dude. To do it, you know what I'm saying? Just like read books together, and you guys could either just listen to me read, or you guys could like, we plan it and I'll get the book together and we read it. We could even do it in a Discord thing where we all take turns reading. The Kabbalion, which is about the Hermetic principles, bro. I got a book right here. I don't want to initially show you because I got a clip that it's going to reference later. How about The Hidden Lineage of Jesus? Bloodline of the Holy Grail. I told you, bro. Krishna and the Bhagavad Gita. What about The Two Marys, the hidden history of the mother and wife of Jesus? Some of you guys may know about this book, but The 48 Laws of Power. And then this is a book that my friend gave to me, and I haven't seen this friend in a very long time. He was up on a live stream once. His name is Wayne. I love him to death. He's one of my longest, bestest friends of all time. And he got me the Rick and Morty character guide, bro. Look at this motherfucker, dude. It's got all of them, dude. It's got fucking Bird Person, dude. Rick and Morty, dude. Bro, the obsession is real. It's on my arm, bro. There's Rick Sanchez right here. The obsession is real. It's not Israel. The obsession is a real obsession, not Israel. Sorry. Just thought I needed to clarify. Oh, yeah. Oh, Bill Maher, or Mayer, whatever you say his gay name. Let's listen to what he has to say.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but where does QAnon go for the apology? You know, I mean, QAnon, which believed in lots of really ridiculous things, like, you know, Democrats eat babies. Yeah. But they were kind of harping a lot on the idea that the elites are running this pedophile ring. And I mean, I made jokes about them. I also made jokes after the Epstein thing happened originally that were on the idea of, well, you know, obviously there was some smoke there. Well, now with all that's coming,
Melissa, you might be onto something.
Out in the last couple of weeks, there's a little more than smoke. It does look like anybody who was at all able to get in touch with Jeffrey Epstein, he was the man.
We're doing it.
They just, yeah. I mean, and then they all lied about it. Everybody has, and the arrogance also of thinking they could just use their real name in an email, which they did, and didn't try to couch it in, when I used to get pot before it was legal, it was like, I'd like 2 shirts, please, and no seeds in the shirts this time, then you had to sort of codify it. No, they're just openly talking in emails about this sort of,
Oh, you mean like them openly talking about eating children? Or referring to them as jerky or pizza? Oh, just a little clip ski for everybody, just to let you know what's happening over here in America.
Number 1, we measure and track. Number 2, we monitor and disrupt. We have a whole apparatus. I have 40 analysts working full-time, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, monitoring extremists.
Extremists? You said extremists. This is just American citizens who criticize Israel will now be monitored by the FBI.
Monitor them online, social media, messaging apps, video games, cryptocurrency, podcasts, short-form video, Wikipedia, LLMs. We monitor these people and we share the intelligence with the FBI. You saw last month, you heard about the thing that happened at Wilshire Boulevard Temple. Our analysts investigated what happened. They said they were Koreatown for Palestine, this group of people. They weren't. We were able to ascertain they were from a group called the Turtle Island Liberation Front. Turtle Island is how left-wing activists refer to the United States. They don't call it America, they call it Turtle Island. Like the Iranians call it the Zionist entity, or they won't call it by its name. The Turtle Island Liberation Front, we gave them a whole dossier. What is Turtle Island Liberation Front? What are their ideas, their goals? Who are they? We identified the people who were in the synagogue. This was on Wednesday, December the 10th. On Monday, December the 15th, this is going to ring a bell. Kash Patel announced they cracked a terror ring where they arrested 4 people who were planning New Year's Eve bombings. Turtle Island Liberation Front. At least one of the people I know for certain was in the building at Wilshire Boulevard Temple, vandalizing it and disrupting the event. So we're monitoring left-wing radicals like the DSA and the anti-war crazies and the pro-Palestine crazies.
Wait, so we're automatically just crazies if we're pro-Palestine or anti-war? That seems kind of insane for them to say.
Monitoring right-wing extremists like white supremacists, armed militia groups. We're monitoring political Islamists and Christian nationalists, all of them.
Christian nationalists. It's an interesting word, right? They're monitoring Christian nationalists.
And then we train. We're the largest trainer of law enforcement in America.
They are the largest law enforcement training apparatus in America. That seems insane to me, bro.
Extremism hate. We train 20,000 officers every year.
It's insane. Whether you like it or not, that's what's happening. This is a 23-second clip of someone talking to Patrick Bet-David. I used to respect him a lot and watch his podcast all the time, if I'm being honest with you. But as soon as his people started saying stuff that was subjectively incorrect and just completely biased, like pro-Israel stuff, even in just everyday conversation, it seemed as if they were restricted in acknowledging certain topics or certain concepts. So I just actually don't really watch them anymore, to be honest.
This has I have a local doctor I want you to go see. He specializes in TBS. And I think you would work very well with him. Over a 6-month period, he'll be able to get rid of your TBS.
I have a guy who's a psychologist, and he deals with cult members.
Yep.
And I think he'd do well with you guys who can't get out of the Trump cult.
See the
Right?
difference?
The Trump cult. I don't know. This guy, he basically said, I have a doctor you can go see that will get rid of your Trump derangement syndrome. Is that what we're still calling it? Is it still Trump derangement syndrome, bro? I don't know about you, but I feel like a complete retard actually believing that this dude was going to be the person who changed America. He did change America, but for the worst. Oh, I just wanted to show you this cool-ass little sacred geometry shit. Look at that shit. That shit's just so sick, bro. Look at this. did, actually. You're right. It did look like last weekend. Oh, yeah.
We'll be having our coffee.
World
before the
Economic
session,
Forum, bro.
you're-
These motherfuckers have gone too far, bro. They say that the coffee that we drink emits 15 to 20 tons of CO2 per ton of coffee. They're coming for my coffee, bro. Fuck this Swiss banker. He's not coming for my coffee, bro. Cheers if you're a coffee drinker. This made me mad to hear these evil villains talk about this thing I love, coffee.
We'll be having our coffee before the session, and you raised the coffee example. I'd love just to give you the chance to expand on that.
Basically, the coffee that we all drink emits between 15 and 20 tons of CO2 per ton of coffee. So we should all know that this is every time we drink coffee, we are basically putting CO2 into the atmosphere.
Every time we drink coffee, we're putting CO2 into the atmosphere, bro. The climate change hoax is getting to our coffee, bro. Doesn't he just sound like a supervillain?
The other, and one of the reasons is because most of the coffee plantation, or most of the coffee is produced through monoculture. And monoculture is also affected by climate change. The quality of these nature assets is deteriorating quite rapidly.
$1 billion. Oh, yeah. This is just RFK talking.
In a million years, I would not take the flu shot, and I'll tell you why. Because
in a million years, I would not take the flu shot, is what he said. I haven't taken the flu shot in a long time, bro. And this is why. Not necessarily exactly what RFK is about to say. First of all, I'm just going to say, it's kind of crazy to me that RFK and Alan Dershowitz are on the same fucking little thing with the cuck PBD.
Million years, I would not take the flu shot, and I'll tell you why. Because this is what Cochrane and BMJ have found. People who take the flu shot are protected against that strain of flu. They're 4.4 times more likely to get a non-flu infection.
If you take the flu shot, you are only protected against that strain of flu, and you are 4 times more likely to get infected by another strain of infection.
And you might find, and a lot of people do, that they get the flu shot and then they get sick. They're usually not getting the flu. They're getting something that is indistinguishable from the flu, because the flu shot gives you something called pathogenic priming. It injures your immune system so that you're more likely to get a non-flu viral upper respiratory infection. In fact, the Pentagon published a story, and you can cite this, it's by Wolfe, W-O-L-F-E, in January of this year, in which they said the flu shot not only primes you for flu, but it primes you for coronavirus.
What the fuck did you just say? This was in 2017 and 2018? Wait, didn't COVID-19, wasn't that like 2019?
Primes you for flu, and it primes you for coronavirus. If you get, they gave flu, they had a placebo group, and they had a vaccine group, because they wanted for military readiness to see if the flu shot was prophylactic against coronavirus. But they found
if the flu shot was a prophylactic of the coronavirus,
is actually the people who got the flu shot were 36% more likely to get coronavirus.
The people who got the flu vaccine were 30% more likely to get the COVID infection.
And that's not a lone study. We found 6 other major studies that say the same thing. If you get the flu shot, you're more likely to get coronavirus.
That's insane. That is fucking insane, bro. Oh yeah, I just wanted to talk about COVID. Since we're talking about COVID, let's just hear what this fucking demon has to say.
First of all, I didn't recommend locking anything down. And the record will show, Neil, that we didn't recommend shutting everything down. I recommended to the president that we shut the country down. And that was a very difficult decision, because I knew it would have serious economic consequences, which it did.
Yeah, you fucking piece of shit. Oh, this one's gonna blow your mind, you guys. Can you guys please, I hope you brought a diaper or an extra change of underwear, because if you didn't already know this, this is going to fuck some shit up for you today. A World Economic Forum puppet accidentally says the quiet part out loud.
Surf the internet as you watch videos or check your social feed, the algorithms will be monitoring. The algorithm tracks your eye movements, your blood pressure, your brain activity, and tells you who you are. Now imagine the situation in 10 or 20 years when an algorithm can tell any teenager exactly where he or she is on the gay-straight spectrum.
Violence. I think that, it's more or less because...
What did he just say?
Wow.
Can tell any teenager exactly where he or she is on the gay-straight spectrum.
What the fuck just happened?
Interview's over. Shut it off.
No, shut it off. Get the fuck out of here, Daryl.
I am Marshall's publicist, and I'm telling you to pull a fucking plug right now.
This is gold. I'm not cutting this interview off. This is the best interview we've ever done.
I'm about to do this. As you...
Shit, boy. They can fucking, your algorithm can tell you if you're gay, bro. What the fuck, dude? I hope it doesn't think I'm gay, bro. Perplexity, I have a really serious question to ask you right now.
I'm here for you. Please go ahead and ask your question, and I'll do my best to help.
Do you think I'm a homosexual?
That's a deeply personal question, and only you can truly understand your own feelings and identity. If you're unsure, it might help to explore your feelings.
I'm not gay, bro. Shit.
Position he's been given in this incoming administration.
Well, he wrote a book saying that Tony Fauci and I kill millions of children and make billions of dollars with vaccines. And, people can judge for themselves whether that's correct or not.
So you mean this book, The Real Dr. Fauci, Bill Gates, Big Pharma, and the Global War on Democracy and Public Health, basically stating that you and Dr. Fauci fabricated and articulated and created the architecture for the COVID pandemic and the vaccine rollout completely after waning vaccine, compounding concerns over the FDA's confessions that Americans have no way to assess the risks from COVID vaccines? You mean this book right here? You wonder why we all talk about it, bro.
The Israelis spy on the United States. They've always spied on the United States.
Do we spy on them also?
No. And that's written in stone at the CIA. We do not spy on Israel. But they openly spy on us. They're all over the country stealing defense secrets.
Do we spy on other countries?
Yeah, we spy on almost every...
Why can't we spy on them?
It's a political decision that's been made. Yeah, a political decision. In the White House, on Capitol Hill. The Israelis spy on the United States. They've always spied on the United States.
Wait a second. Let me just check something real fast for y'all. Can you please provide me the information about Robert Maxwell stealing America's nuclear secrets?
From what I found, Robert Maxwell, a British media tycoon, has been described in various sources as having close ties to Israel's Mossad intelligence agency. One claim, detailed in a book review and library entry, is that Maxwell was involved in selling a software called Promise, which had been stolen from an American company. This software allegedly acted as a Trojan horse, allowing the Mossad to access sensitive data from systems where it was installed, including Los Alamos laboratories, which could have exposed American atomic energy secrets. Some online discussions claim he stole nuclear secrets from Pennsylvania and passed them to Israel. But these claims aren't universally verified and may rely on unconfirmed sources.
Can you please provide me information about who Robert Maxwell's daughter is, the connection to Jeffrey Epstein, as well as to the textbooks that all American children were required to read?
Robert Maxwell's daughter is Ghislaine Maxwell, who became widely known as a close associate of financier Jeffrey Epstein. After Robert Maxwell's death in 1991, Ghislaine moved to New York, where she and Epstein were romantically involved for part of the 1990s, and she later became his close associate and was convicted for helping recruit and groom underage girls for Epstein's abuse. She is currently serving a 20-year prison sentence. As for the connection to American school textbooks, Robert Maxwell was a British media tycoon with a large publishing empire. Reports indicate he struck deals and joint ventures with major textbook publishers, including McGraw-Hill, and owned companies like Pergamon Press that printed school textbooks. This means his business dealings played a significant role in the publishing of educational materials used in American schools, although it doesn't mean every textbook was produced by his company. In summary, Ghislaine Maxwell is Robert's daughter. She was convicted of crimes related to...
Weird. Oh yeah, Candace Owens was over in Russia. Candace Owens is in Russia, dude.
A lot of...
Let's hear what she has to say.
Conversation I certainly I've been having on my podcast, and Americans are really getting tired of funding, not knowing where money is going, learning that oligarchs are buying yachts. So we think about it at a practical level in terms of our taxes and where our money is going, which is never quite explained. But beyond that, we're trying to focus on a lot of home issues.
Seems pretty insane. Do you see all those freaking all those cameras in her face, bro? Like fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 microphones just shoved in her face. She's like, yeah, we don't want to pay for that shit no more, dude. We don't want to fucking pay for that shit no more, dude. Just don't, dude. We don't want to pay for it anymore, dude. Alright, guys. Here it is. We gotta get into this.
Two-dimensional beings that quote-unquote...
Let's just read this real fast, okay? We can say that, graphic mutilation, details, and language inappropriate for children lies in this video. Frightening scenes will be discussed which are unsuitable for children. No children should be within eye or earshot of this video. In some rabbinical interpretations, the name Amalek, founder of the Amalekites, is etymologized as Amlak, meaning the people who lick blood. A satanic ritual abuse survivor, Jay Parker, said, "A Luciferian who abused me says she profoundly traced her bloodline all the way back to the Amalekites." To 800 AD, an incredibly evil society emerges in Khazaria. The Khazarians develop into a nation ruled by an evil king who has ancient Babylonian black arts occult oligarchs serving as his court. During this time, Khazarians became known as the surrounding countries as thieves, murderers, road bandits, and for assuming the identities of those travelers, they murdered as a normal occupational practice and a way of life.
3. 33rd degree Freemason. In 1933, 33rd degree Freemason Franklin D. Roosevelt added the Great Seal to the US dollar, transforming it into an occult talisman. The same year, he signed a gold confiscation order and took the US off the gold standard. At a press conference on March 8, 1933, he joked, "As long as nobody asks me whether we are off the gold standard, that's all right, because nobody knows what the gold standard really is." David Icke wrote, "The 33rd degree Freemason and Black nobility president Franklin Delano Roosevelt had this symbol printed on the dollar bill from 1933. It was a symbol of secret societies in Europe long before anyone heard of the United States, and it is awash with Freemasonic and secret society symbolism going back to the ancient world. Notice the symbology and numerology used on the dollar bill. The most obvious symbol is the Illuminati pyramid with the hovering all-seeing eye in the capstone. Opposite this is the All-American Eagle, with a downturned U.S. flag affront its chest. These and many other symbols on the dollar come from the ancient stellar, solar, and lunar cults." Michael Tessarian wrote, "The pyramid is for the stellar cult."
Who's seen this? What's up, motherfuckers? Who's here? How many we got over here? Who's up in here? We got 13 over on Twitch. What's up? We got 4 on Facebook, 4 on YouTube, and there's 0 on Facebook again. I wonder why.
As are the various stars that appear on the bill. The golden eagle is for the solar cult. The eagle is the symbol of America because it signifies the constellation in Scorpio called Akia. Scorpio is the sign of power, money, and wealth, as well as secret knowledge. The U.S. elections are held right in the middle of Scorpio, and the birthday...
No, private was for... I can only set... I made a few mistakes setting YouTube to private. We got 4 over on YouTube, but Facebook, you could probably just watch this, keep watching this, and keep following along, and you could probably completely comprehend why Mark Zuckerberg's platform doesn't want to promote what we're talking about.
...of America is in the scorpionic decanate of Cancer. The double-headed eagle symbol, which came from Babylon and survived through the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, has been today adopted by America, Mexico, Israel, Germany, France, Chile, Italy, Honduras, and many others. David Icke wrote, "The eagle is a widely used brotherhood symbol, and it can be found on the coats of arms of many countries, including Egypt, Libya, and Iraq. It was a major symbol for Germany, and it appears in the designs of pulpits and lecterns used by the Christian Church. Seals like the one used on the Great Seal of the United States can be traced back to at least 4000 BC in Egypt, Babylon, Assyria, and India. The word money comes from the lunar cults. Early words for the moon were mon and min, giving us money printed at a mint. We have a worldwide monarchy that controls the world's money supply. We have finance ministers, prime ministers, and their ministries being controlled by occult elites and societies. It is interesting to note that the plant mint is green. Our money, printed at the mint, is green, and the Isis moon goddess Statue of Liberty is also green." Jordan Maxwell wrote, "You will see beneath the pyramid 1776 spelled out in Roman numerals, plus the words Annuit Coeptus, and is translated as Annuit, our enterprise. Coeptus is translated to mean crowned with success, or is crowned with success. Therefore, Annuit Coeptus is our enterprise, which is now a success. Then, in order to find out what enterprise was a success, read on the $1 bill at the bottom of the pyramid, Novos Ordo Seclorum, which translates as the new order of the world, the new world order. The Latin translation of Annuit Coeptus, Novos Ordo Seclorum is, our new world order is crowned with success. The other Latin phrase, E pluribus unum, means one out of many, order out of chaos. The Hegelian dialectic, the problem-reaction-solution paradigm used by the elites to drive...
Permit me to issue and control the money of a nation, and I care not who makes the laws. Interesting.
...world events, opinions, and policies. There are 13 letters in Annuit Coeptus, and 13 letters in E pluribus unum. The dollar encodes the number 13 repeatedly. There are 13 stars above the eagle's head, 13 steps on the pyramid, 13 vertical bars on the shield, 13 horizontal stripes at the top of the shield, 13 leaves on the olive branch, 13 arrows, 13 fruits, and 13 members. If you draw a 6-sided Star of David hexagram around the pyramid on the back of the dollar, 5 of the 6 corners will point to letters A-S-M-O-N, or when you rearrange them, M-A-S-O-N. Jordan Maxwell wrote, "You will find on the dollar bill the eagle, which comes from the ancient concept of the phoenix and has 13 stars above it. The 13 stars are arranged in the configuration of the Star of David, or the hexagram. Most people think the 13 stars represent the original 13 colonies. In the first place, why did they have to have 13 colonies? Why couldn't they have 27, or 4, or 10? When one understands that the number 13 is a very important, profound Masonic number, and that many of the founding fathers of this country were Freemasons, as well as Rosicrucians, then you will follow this connecting thread of material to see what was actually being created. They knew what they were doing when they divided this country into 13 colonies. The number 13 is not an unlucky number for them. It's an unlucky number for you."
Hey everybody, how are you doing? I'm glad that you're here.
What's up, Chuck?
I know that I've been talking about this video for quite a while now, and I just now am getting my arms around it and this subject. And so it's taken me a while, longer than usual, to go from when I thought I was going to be releasing it to now, to actually releasing it. And so I say all that to say that it's been a real journey for me, and I think that anybody that takes on this subject, which is who actually runs the world, who actually rules the world, anyone who takes on this subject will find that it is not something that is quickly gathered. And I've really found that as I've dug into this, it seems like almost every day another layer is revealed. And that's also been a reason for the delay, is that I keep uncovering more and more about this group, because this group goes so far back. So what I've decided to do is I've decided to cut the video in half. So this first video, we're going to be covering from the origin, or our known origin, of human beings all the way till about 100 AD, which was the beginning of the formal Khazarian mafia, between the Caspian and that would be the Black Sea, just north of the Caucasus Mountains. And 100 AD really marks the beginning of their infiltration, formally and organized, into the West, into the organized West, and into what became of the groups that ended up ruling the world. And so, since that is a story in and of itself from about 100 AD, we're going to be covering the first part, because to be honest, I haven't found any narratives that cover the origin of human beings and how this group came about through the bloodlines of human beings. I haven't found any essays. I haven't found anything that really digs into it. And the essay that I'm going to be using, which here, let me get the name of the gentleman who wrote it. Preston James and Mike Harris wrote an essay that's going to be carrying us from 100 AD to present day. But I haven't found any essays that cover from the origin of human beings until 100 AD that really do this group justice. And since this is our history, since this is the human history and origin, it matters. And so
See, this is why I like to even just have conversations about all sorts of things, is because him saying that since the beginning of creation, there are so many separate individual concepts about how we even got to where we are, why are we even here, who we are, what we are, how we are, is that whether this is the truth or not, it's up for you to decide if you're here to watch this. I can't tell you that this is true, and I can't tell you that this is wrong. You're just going to have to hear the information and just decide for yourself. That's how all discourse should be, correct? We should be able to just look at information and decide for ourselves. Whether it's true or not, I'm not sure. If you're here for it, let's get into it, because I really like the way Chuck presents his information.
If you're looking for a 5-minute, quick and dirty, I am not your guy. This is going to take probably, I'd say, about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get through this first part, and then the essay is probably going to be that again. And that's really going to be the only way, I feel, to communicate, to effectively communicate our history and why the world is the way that it is. And I think that's an awesome introduction into the titling of this, which is Why is the World the Way That It Is? I've named this essay
Hell yeah.
Khazarian Mafia, The God Eaters, by Charles Reagan Swindoll. And I'm starting with this nice quote from Aristotle. Nice doesn't do this quote justice. This awesome quote from Aristotle: knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. And that really is true. That's why Alan Watts spent his entire career asking the question, who are you? And
can we just get some I love Alan Watts in the chat, bro. I love Alan Watts, bro. He himself and his philosophical concepts he likes to talk about have literally changed the way I perceive my life. Shout out Alan Watts. Rest in peace, homie.
And that's why
I love Chuck Swindoll too.
Buddha spent his entire life pursuing the question of absolving suffering. And the way one absolves suffering is knowing who you are, knowing the divinity that you are, knowing the divinity that you reflect and come from and emanate. And the journey to that space is extremely varied. And so that at the end of the day, what matters is knowing who you are.
Can we just get some amens? Like, do you know who you are? Like, I'm being... And let's just be honest with ourselves. Dude, it took me 3 decades to even start the journey to find out who I am. And I'm still, day in and day out, still just going through this experience of human life and figuring out every day who I am and who I'm going to become, who I get to choose to become. Because at the end of the day, it is all just your choice, right? It's all right based off of choices.
And finding that out, because no one can tell you. I can't tell you. Your pastor can't tell you. Your government official can't tell you. No book, no movie, no lecture is going to be able to tell you who you are. This is going to be a journey of self-discovery. That's how you find out who you are.
Amen. I can't even tell you who you are. I'm just me, and hopefully me being me and saying the things that I like to say helps you and encourages you to to be able to answer that question. I love you, Team Human.
And typically it comes through pain. I had an interesting dialogue with a friend on the internet, and she asked the question, is there any way to wisdom that doesn't involve pain? And I really sat and thought about it for a while, and I realized the stuff in my life that matters most cost me the most. There's a great Buddhist quote or Eastern quote that says, to know anything, I must lose everything. And that's been my experience. And I found that the more that I have lost, the more that I have just set aside as not the answer, but just a part of the answer, the more I've been able to open my mind to a larger reality, a larger truth that is hearkening all of us, especially right now during the Great Awakening.
Are you experiencing the Great Awakening too? I can't be the only one. We can see it, feel it, hear it, smell it, taste it. The Great Awakening is amongst us. Now, the only thing that can really change from today and yesterday to tomorrow is, are you going to participate in the Great Awakening? And really, the Great Awakening is just a self-journey of healing and spirituality. That's really all it is. And only you can choose to do it. Nobody can force you or wake you up or open your eyes. We can plant seeds and have conversations, but ultimately it's just a series of choices and situations that you will find yourself in that it inevitably will start happening.
And so I wanted to start this off with a good question, which is, who are you? And this essay is hopefully going to help you understand who you are. Okay, so getting right into it, what we're going to be talking about today is the Khazarian Mafia. And it's of my opinion that this group, as well as constellating groups around and about the Khazarian Mafia, are who have ruled the world since our inception. And I think that the human being, the human genome, is a multifaceted endeavor when you're attempting to understand our history, when you're attempting to know where and what and how we came about. And so it is quite a journey, because that true essence of us has really been hidden from us. And this group, the Khazarian Mafia, has worked very hard for us to not know who we are, because if we find out, as a society, as the human collective, if we find out who we are, we will be unrulable, and we will think for ourselves, and we will develop for ourselves, and we won't be held back and shackled down by evil groups. And so the work of the Khazarian Mafia has been to suppress the knowledge of human beings, the history of human beings, the essence of human beings. And that...
You, as a human on Team Human right now, can see, obviously, with your own eyes, that there is a group that is doing all of those things, right? Right?
Really is what we're pursuing today, is our essence. And our history contains it, but they haven't wanted us to know it, because we become extremely powerful and an unstoppable force when we know who we are.
Team Human, where are you at? An unstoppable force as soon as we know who we are.
Okay, so to begin, before we dive into the history of human beings, let's look very quickly at who, in my opinion, are the Khazarian Mafia. So I've developed this little slide here that shows a hierarchy. And at the top of the slide, what you're going to see is the top of the pyramid, the top of the hierarchy, and at the bottom of this slide is the bottom of the pyramid. And what this shows, what I'm hoping to do here, is to begin to open your eyes to a larger reality than the one that has been taught to you by about level 2 here, the entertainers, and 3, the low-level government officials, and so forth. Those are the quote-unquote emissaries, the representatives of this evil group, but they present the world, this evil group, in such a way that you would never know that there are many layers below them or above them. So let's look at this. At the top, we have what in Gnosticism is called the demiurge, Satan, Lucifer, Baal, Molech. These are anthropomorphisms of the evil that undergirds all of these groups. So at the very top of the pyramid is the ruler, overseer, the penultimate example of evil, which would be Satan. And so just below that are the fallen angels, watchers, archons, reptoids. It depends sort of what level you're at as far as what you know and understand about the world. But fallen angels, watchers, this comes out of the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch lays out the world in that there was a developing and thriving community history of human beings that was going on. And then there was a moment when that history, that ongoing saga, was infiltrated by an outside group. And these many, it just depends on where you come from on this planet to determine what the name of this group is. But the common names are the fallen angels, the watchers, the archons, and the reptoids. And the theory is that the watchers involved themselves with human women, bred with them, and the children that came out of those copulations were the Nephilim, the giants. And that's
crazy. Who's here? Who's still here with me? Who's still here with me? YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Say what's up. Drop your favorite emote. Something. Who's here?
the next level down. Black nobility, black pope, order of the black.
But we just hit Nephilim.
Black snake, Zoroastrian, and Nephilim bloodlines. Again, these are all hidden. These are not individuals, entities, groups that you would ever know about and you were to never know about. And these are what are behind the next level here, which is the Khazarian Mafia. And the Khazarian Mafia, really, there's a line that's drawn between those top three and the rest of the groups. And that is, this is when you begin to fall into categories of people that you know of, that you might have seen once or twice. The Jesuit Order, Babylonian, Canaanite bloodlines. This fills this next level, the Freemasons, Illuminati, Committee of 300, Club of Rome, Scottish Rite, CIA. The bloodlines of those groups are inside the Khazarian Mafia, Jesuit Order, Babylonian, Canaanite bloodlines. I know this is a mouthful, but our history is very involved.
Mike, Nathan, what's up?
So this then would lead to the low-level government officials, judges, FBI, WHO, and DEA, supposedly the people that you vote into office, which we all know that you don't. But supposedly, these would be the common everyday people that you're seeing all the time. So you can see, by looking at this order, these groups, you can see we move from a totally invisible order to a fully visible order, and it shifts within these groups here in the middle. What's also interesting, Club of Rome, Scottish Rite, these groups require pedophilia to enter. What you're going to notice, the common thread that comes out of these ancient orders of people, groups of people, is child sacrifice, blood sacrifice. And to be a part of these groups, you must be a person who involves yourself at that level. And so the Scottish Rite and Club of Rome, these groups, it's required that you engage in some kind of CP, in order to enter the group. And then
can we all just, if you're on YouTube, you could just comment or smash the like button. If you're on Twitch, can we just please somehow acknowledge to the algorithm that we completely understand that that definitely is some sort of initiation into certain groups? It's obvious, isn't it? It's obvious to me. I'm hoping that it's as obvious as it is to me as it is to you guys.
You have the bottom three, low-level government officials, judges, FBI, WHO, DEA, entertainers, media, sports figures, public officials. These would not be the bloodlines. These would not be the true origins. These would be people that have sold their soul. They have sold their life and soul to Moloch, and they have given over all their humanity, all their compassion, over to evil. And so they are in service. They are in service to evil, and you are not to know that. Us at the bottom there, the feeders, the breeders, commodities, and assets, that's us. The world, the earth, in my opinion, is a farm. And we are the assets, the commodities that come out of the way the earth is put together, the way that it's run, right?
Can you resonate with that? I resonate like fucking hella with that. That we're just like assets and profit numbers, breeders. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Obviously, this is a blasphemous version of the original earth. It wasn't like this at one time. But it has been the earth, us as a society, have been infiltrated by a parasite. And that parasite is pure evil. And so in order to overcome this, in order to overcome these groups and to change the world, we must save ourselves. And the way we save ourselves is through knowledge, is through learning and understanding not only who we are, but the world round about. And in order to do that, you're going to have to...
I resonate so much with that. The only way to do that is through knowledge, bro.
Move the assumptions that you have. And when you see a list like this, you're going to have to begin to see the world in a larger scope than the assumed constriction that has been inculcated into you. And that's inculcated into you through entertainers, media, sports figures, public officials, your education, your science, your medicine, your religion. These are all ways, disciplines, used to constrict your world and to make your focus much smaller, to only see the world through a pair of binoculars rather than seeing the world naturally through your own eyes. And so when you see the world confined like this, you're only seeing so much of the world, and really science, medicine, politics, religion, government, these things, even our agriculture, these things are what deplete and sicken us as individuals and as a society, because they are false realities. And so my words here and what I'm showing you here is very revulsive to folks that are really caught up. But it's the only way we're going to grow. It's the only way we're going to learn, is to find out that the history we've been taught, the medicine we've been taught, the life we have been taught is false. And it's because it comes out of this order, as I showed you, these groups here. A quick look at the costumes these groups wear is the, let's see, let me find it here. Yes, is this slide here, the Cult of Baal image drawn by Dylan Monroe. And this shows you, looking at the top here, this shows you the costumes that these groups have worn so that you would never see the actuality below the costume. And so they've hidden themselves inside of the kings, inside the royalty, inside the ruling groups and empires that have controlled and steered humanity. And this evil has cloaked itself in many different forms, such as the Roman Empire, the Roman Catholic Church, the Jesuit Order, Pharaonic Egypt. These would be...
Yes, we definitely went over that chart, Melissa. Definitely went over that chart.
The costumes that the evil has adorned so that you would never know that you're being ruled by evil. And when you look at a map like this, where it shows how they've simply changed their costume within the theater that is the human collective, you'll see how they have mastered the human race and controlled it and held it to account in a very, very small world that does not reflect actual nature, actual reality. They've put us into a conflict-oriented world is what they've done, and I've spent many videos talking about that. And one of the ways that you shorten the life and constrict the mind of a human being is by filling them with lies and filling them with poisons, filling them not only with food poisons, but religious poisons and governmental poisons and historical poisons. And you do that.
I resonate with that so much. It's poisonous everywhere, isn't it? We can see the toxins everywhere in every category of this human experience.
That enough to any human being, any human collective, you will permanently disable them. Permanently in the sense that as long as they are within and absorbed by those poisons and taken by those poisons, they will not get out.
We're just barely getting to a point where collectively we're understanding the amount of poison that is around us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's in our food, it's in our air, it's in our water, it's in our clothes, it's in our hygiene products, it's in our... It's just everywhere. It's in our soil. It's in our soul.
Okay, so from that basic general look at the actual world, let's go to the beginning here on the first slide where I talk about where this essay came from, and yeah, let's get started. This essay is an offspring of the Cliff High Substack write-up called Walk Without Rhythm, found here. And if you like, please feel free to copy that address down, put that in your computer, and check it out. I'm going to also present his essay here. As you know, I agree with some of what Cliff High says, and I disagree with some of what Cliff High says. That's called a healthy relationship. Cliff retweeted my Luciferian video as legit info years ago, so I can't dismiss the guy completely. His human manipulation theory has legit clout, and it ties in well to our discussion today. Now, before I continue any further, I know that this evil group has done a very good job of driving out humanity. Driving out meaning coercing different groups of people into set beliefs. And the beliefs that these different groups subscribe to are incongruent with each other. So these tribes of people don't intermingle very well because they have been tribed out in their beliefs. Here's a great example. There's a whole host of people who believe in flat Earth, and there's a whole host of people who believe in a spherical Earth. And both of these tribes...
Which one are you? Put it in the chat.
Tribes of people are 100% convicted with the idea that they're right, that they have enough information to show and prove beyond any shadow of a doubt that they are absolutely correct. And so anyone who doesn't subscribe to their belief is an idiot, should be ostracized, should be marginalized, should be an outcast, should never be listened to. And see, this is how you take a group of people and you isolate and alienate them, because they will not hear any words but the words that they have subscribed to. They're living in an echo chamber. It doesn't dumb you down to become familiar with both the arguments of the flat echo chamber.
You see, people don't want to hear your opinion. They want to hear their opinion coming out of your mouth. Who resonates with that? Shit, boy.
It doesn't dumb you down to become familiar with both the arguments of the flat Earth folks and the arguments of the spherical Earth folks, because they both have convincing arguments. And so it's a good idea to learn those arguments. It doesn't matter if they're right or wrong. The point being, it's a good idea to learn them. Just like if you're going to go and study many cultures of people, it doesn't mean you're going to take on their traditions. It doesn't mean that you're going to take on their gods and their ideas of life, but you're going to be exposed to their traditions, to their gods, to their ontologies, which will expand your mind That's called a well-rounded education. You are not just learning the stuff you're going to fully buy into, but you're also learning the stuff that you would never buy into, because that makes you a smarter person. It makes you a wiser, more refined individual, because you have not spent your life rejecting everything that you just don't see, that you don't...
That's you, isn't it? That's you, bro. That's why you're here with me right now. Because you're one of those people, those smart, mind-expanded humans out there that just like to know the information. You don't have to subscribe to everything. You don't have to believe everything. You don't have to be the type of person that gets hostile when someone is saying something that counters your belief, because you want to understand why they believe that, what they actually believe, and how they could come to that conclusion, to then add that data to your data set, to then maybe change your perspective, maybe make you a little bit less of a rigid academic.
Agree with, which makes you enslaved to your own mind. And that's...
Doesn't that actually, now that he said that, that's so true. I want respectful discourse. I don't care what you believe. Whatever it is that you believe, I just want to hear you say it and understand it and listen to it. That doesn't mean I have to believe it. And it doesn't mean for 1 second that because you think differently than me that I have any energy entering into that arena that's hostile at all. Even if I counteract some of your arguments, rebuttal some of the things you say things that make you think, say things that make you feel like you need to defend your belief. There's never any hostility. That's not how we're going to change any of this.
Really, what this group has effectively done is enslave us to doctrines that are false. Doctrines about ourselves and doctrines about the world, whether that be a medical doctrine, a religious doctrine, a scientific doctrine, whatever the case may be. These groups have worked extremely hard to hold us in contempt to the doctrines that they have foisted upon us. Okay, so the way we're going to break out of that is we're going to expose ourselves, that's the whole point of what I'm doing here, expose ourselves to a different reality and therefore a larger reality. And that's exactly what Cliff High's Walk Without Rhythm essay does. So I'm going to post this essay. Here it is. It reads from left to right. And if you want, you can just simply pause the video at each one of these slides, and you can take the time for yourself to read it. And what this is going to do is this is going to help you see the world from a different perspective than the one that you grew up in, than the one that was indoctrinated into you. And that's a good idea, because then you can relate to others who maybe have subscribed to this, and you don't ostracize and alienate yourself from everybody who knows these or believes these ideas that Cliff is expressing here to be true. What I would like to say, as we finish up this last slide, what I would like to say is, the theory that Cliff holds, and I'm going to talk about this here next, the theory that Cliff holds really substantiates and...
Amen, Jennifer. I agree with you 100%. I can only just be me and show you what has changed me through me finding spirituality and me finding myself and me trying to always change behaviors and be better than I was yesterday, no matter whether it was a few years ago or today. It's just always to try to be better yesterday. Maybe yesterday I was super impatient with my children. Today I'm actively trying to speak a little bit calmer and be able to convey the message I want without making them feel attacked or that I'm speaking down to them. It could come in many capacities, just better than yesterday, bro. That's it. That's all we're here for, right?
Brings understanding to some of the major questions we have as a human culture, whether it be a religious or scientific consideration. Meaning, the theory that Cliff has answers to why we have a fused chromosome, to why we are structurally unfit for the gravitational pull of this planet. And it accounts and resolves this intermediary type of situation that we're living in, meaning that we have this layer of people, of institutions and groups of people.
Hey, real quick, I hate to do this to y'all again. 6 people on YouTube, 14 on Twitch. Facebook's at it again. I need you guys to just sit on Facebook for a minute and just smash the like button, share it out. Just please go and interact on Facebook. It hasn't happened like this. Usually there's at least 1 or 2 people up in here, but Facebook for some reason multiple times today has dropped my views all the way to 0, where for many minutes, it's just at 0 people.
Who have been ruling over the planet for a very long time and holding us as a human society in developmental contempt. And so his accounting of our history really welcomes and integrates and coalesces well with this philosophy that really Watchers did come down. that really there was an intermingling and genetic shift and change of human beings, that the planet really was bombarded with all types of natural disaster that completely shifted not only the atmosphere of the planet, but the history of those that inhabited the planet. And so we're going to talk about all of those issues today as we begin to search out and find out not only our history, but these groups of people, these families that have been ruling over us. I do believe we are edging closer to our real origin story, and Substack essays like those from Cliff High cause me to think it's closer than we realize. Like the universe, we are an organism in development, and our complexifying history is simply the path we have taken to become aware of ourselves. We chose a more difficult path than the universal average due to the compromised condition foisted upon us by horrific outside forces. Nothing that cannot be outdone, but the undoing will be costly. No pain, no gain. And again, this reflects what I said earlier. Everything that you learn in life that really matters, that has an influence, that really changes you as an individual, is costly. It requires a painful endeavor, enduring and working through and coming out the other side of some type of painful event, and typically many, many painful events. And often, the more painful events you endure and survive, the richer of an individual you become, the richer your character, the richer your perseverance, the richer and more deeply you see yourself and the world. And
I just have to pause that because in your room, not on your phone. I just have to can I scan this with Bayer? I will scan it with Bayer. Let me just bring you up in close real quick. I've already checked these ones out, player. This is Polar Sparkling Water. I don't drink soda pop. It's coffee, sparkling water, milk, and juice, right? It's kombuchas too. But you take the Bayer app. Let me just pull it up for you over here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to show it full-fledged motherfucking advertisement for Bayer real fast, okay? Bayer. Like I said, it's on my phone. Let's just click it right there. Bayer, okay? Come over here. Let's see here. Can I get this barcode? It's got some condensational on there. Ooh, got it. Okay. Polar Seltzer. It is family owned, buddy. It's family owned. Let's do some more research because it can definitely tell you more information about this. The Underdog family owned seltzer empire. Polar beverages may not have flashy branding or national soda giants, but that's because they've been busy perfecting their seltzer since 1882. Weird, the Crowley family has been at the helm for 4 generations. But also, one of the reasons I got Polar, bro, is because guess what, dude? Guess what? I don't know if you can see it, but there's a kosher sign, bro. There's no poison in here, dude. It's kosher. We're good. How come, you know what I'm even realizing right now in real time, bro? How come the word kosher was slang, bro? How come kosher was a slang word for good? It's all kosher, bro. Weird. Am I the only one? Is this a Mandela effect? Am I the only one that remembers hearing people say that? I don't think I ever actually really said it, but download Bayer, bro. It's free. It's a free app, bro. You could potentially be asked to pay a $5 subscription if you just want access to like all the AI stuff that it does, like pulling up all sorts of information. You know what I mean? You can get, there's a whole bunch of shit for $5, bro. But yeah, it's free, bro. It's free. What was that? I'm bringing in close for something. I don't remember. We can come back over here.
And this is because nature doesn't hand itself to you. The true aspects and true measures of nature come through extremely difficult paths.
What's up, Scott? What's up, Brittany? What's up, Jennifer? I see you guys on Facebook. What's up? I see 5 people up over here on I got 5 people on YouTube, 15 on Twitch, 4 on Facebook. What's up, guys? Let's get a little heart hands. Love you guys so much. Thank you guys for always showing out for me. Thank you.
Because they're hard to integrate. Because nature is so enormous, so overwhelmingly huge, that to begin to grasp just what we are, what you are as an individual, and the world that we live in, it takes everything that you have. And that's why you must empty yourself. You go through the process of what in the West is called kenosis, which is to self-empty. And by emptying of yourself, you no longer are self-consumed. One of the real tragedies of locking into one belief system is you become naturally self-consumed, because the only belief system that you'll subscribe to is the one that has consumed you. And so you live a life of self-consumption because you can't learn anything else. Your mind is already full. And so that's why that Eastern philosophy, which is to know anything, I must lose everything, that's just the Western way of kenosis, of what is called kenosis. It was called calcination in Gnosticism and alchemy. And this was the burning away of the assumptions of one's mind, the burning away of what you know as fact. And by burning away those aspects of your mind, you then actually can learn something. You then actually can learn something past what you have assumed to know.
70% of the population lives in a consensus state, which is basically a herd mentality. So these are the literal NPCs of the world. So they don't form independent thought. When they want to know what their opinions are on certain topics, they just look to the external world. So these kinds of people will tend to get the most offended when you present them certain views that go outside of their paradigm, because their beliefs actually represent unconscious security needs. So they unconsciously gain security in trusting the mainstream media, celebrities, the experts, the government. They basically can't really think for themselves, so they seek security in outsourcing their opinions to the outer world. And moving from this consensus herd mentality to the next stage, which is an individuated state, is actually often a traumatic process, because instead of trusting the external world like you always have, the government, the authorities, you actually have to learn how to trust self as an inner guide.
Scott, bro, he's doing triple time. He's got Facebook on his computer. He's got YouTube on the big screen, Twitch on his phone. I appreciate you so much, Scott. Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Guidance system instead. And in order to do that, you actually have to decondition and undo a lot of what you thought was true about yourself and the world in the process. So this is a really alienating and lonely process by design, because in order to discover who you are, you actually have to separate from the herd to begin with. And the thing is...
Why do you think... Let me pull you in closer to this little... tangent, okay? Just like what kind of going off of what Monica just said. Before these AI chatbots, okay? Everybody used Google to ask any question they didn't know, correct? What's the fucking square root of 72? How big is the moon? How fast is the speed of light? What was the first ancient literature that we found? Etc., 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 etc. So now, just think about that, okay? Before any of these chatbots, Google controlled all transfers of information from almost every human on the planet that had access to the internet, right? Why do you think all these fucking AI bots are trying to become the best one? Is because that they want to be able to control the information. Just a hot take.
You can't actually force people out of this state. It has to come from an inner calling. So it has to come from them realizing that there is something different inside of them that can't be explained by the experts, science, celebrities, government. And in my view, it really takes a certain...
Can we just blow up the chat if you're one of those humans that know that there is something extraordinary inside of you that can't be replicated, and that specific essence that is inside of you is under attack. When I say spiritual war, that's dead ass what I mean. That there is a divine essence about your character inside of you that the current people that are running the system are currently trying to dim that essence as much as physically possible. Nobody is coming to save you. You can only save you. And the only way that you can save you is to start today with one breath, one honest moment with yourself. One question you ask yourself, like, who am I? Why am I here? What am I doing? Am I contributing or am I taking away? You know what I'm saying?
And ripeness of the soul to even want to go down that path, because it's not easy. Most people will actually refuse the call of their individuation again and again and again.
And you're right, Melissa. For everyone that is here and might be struggling, I want you to know you can do hard things. And it's okay to not be okay. Said it before and I'll say it again. It doesn't matter whether it's in celebration or if it's in sadness. Give yourself one day and then it's right back to the grind. If you know that you always have that one day to either cry or to celebrate, everything changes, bro. You no longer will allow yourself to have multiple days where you just bed rot, because you only allow yourself just one day to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? And just remember that. One day to cry or one day to celebrate, and then it's back to it. Give yourself the full day to feel however much and however it is that you need to feel. If you're the type of individual that gets so consumed that you just feel like you just can't take on the day and you just lay in your bed all the day and just read or just watch TV or rot, that's all right, but just for one day. If you accomplish something and you just want to go out and party and just celebrate in any capacity that it resonates with you in this moment, that's cool. Do it for one day, and then it's back to the grind, homie.
Again, because their unconscious security needs to stay in the unknown, the known rather, of the consensus is so strong. So you don't want to hate them for that. It's actually a necessary stage in their own soul's development. And this is why trying to wake up family, friends, and others in general is almost always a failed project.
Scott, you can't feel guilty about that, bruh. Feelings and emotions and energetic shifts based off of some of those emotions is the human experience, bro. If you don't allow yourself to rest, then you will always associate rest with threat. It's okay. Take a day. Relax. Chill out. Take some breaths. Do something for you. And if that is just chilling and laying and relaxing, then that's what that is. If it's going out into the garden, then that's what that is. If it's playing video games all day, then that's what that is. And only you can know what you need. The question is, are you aware of yourself enough to be able to hear what it is that you need? Ultimately, only you can really decide that.
And really, how I feel about it, the best thing you can do in these times is focus on your own soul evolution and find something unique about you that you can bring back to the world. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it is the most highly individuated and spiritualized people who actually create the next consensus. And they don't do this by forcefully trying to wake up the people who are asleep. They do this by bringing back their true essence, their true nature, and their soul gifts back to the consensus, where they can uplift, inspire, and show people there's a different way to be.
Cliff has a pretty
Who's get Team Human in the chat wherever you are watching this?
far out theory about the origin of humans, which I won't detail, but it involves aliens from a distant galaxy seeding Earth with adult breeding pairs of humans long before written history, some 200,000 to 300,000 years ago. Those were the first untainted versions of humans. We were left to develop on our own in the garden that is the Earth. This begins to open up questions about Earth's history. And in order to know Earth's history, you're going to have to open up to ideas that are maybe outside the normal bounds that you've accepted. As part of our origin scenario, Cliff suggests the idea of an evil alien species called the Elohim, who came or fell here and manipulated our DNA through interbreeding and genetic manipulation. Enoch called them the Watchers. Now, one thing to mention here, and this is key,
Enoch called them the Watchers.
Came or fell here and manipulated our DNA through interbreeding and genetic manipulation. Now remember, this would have been then, according to this theory, this would have been the second intervention.
Adamu and the Anunnaki?
By an alien force. The first one being our original creation, and I'm following this narrative. The first one being our original creation, and then there being a fall that changed our genetics, and then there's a second quote-unquote creation that happens after the cataclysm, after this massive shift that happened to us and to the planet. And so
the flood, right? Because every ancient culture talks about the flood.
This narrative really follows well even the scriptural idea that there was an original creation of human beings and then a second creation of human beings. So this common thread you're beginning to see, and pattern you see in our history, is that there was an original form of human beings that was directly from the work of an alien species. And then there was a parasite that came in and manipulated us at the genetic level, shortened our lives, lowered our brain capacity, and psychologically devalued us as individuals, meaning our mind, constricted our minds. And this...
Who here believes that for sure? That we are definitely a special species in this cosmos we live in. A very divine and authoritative being in this realm of experience. Why could you possibly think that the evil or negative, low vibration, satanic, ball worshipping, whatever you want to call it, why do you think they, for one, potentially and allegedly consume and eat us? Think about that. Two, they continuously are trying to control our spiritual power or our own spiritual divinity. They put poison in our food, poison in our water, poison in our air, poison in our clothes, poison in our spirit, poison in our sight, all to control consciousness and what we're able to do with it.
Points to the Elohim are essentially a demonoid species from another dimension who have defiled nature God by manipulating our DNA. And see, this points to what I like to call, and what I'll get into here, this points to what I like to call the original sin. And this was the original, in my argument, this was the original blasphemy of nature against God. The Elohim demons came here long ago to manipulate our DNA and enslave us by compromising our practical awareness, our mind, while keeping our God awareness coding, our spiritual sense, intact. DNA carries the coding to develop the material biology that allows for a sense of a larger reality than the material landscape. Altering our DNA disempowered our development while not compromising our etheric sensitivity, creative force. They dumbed us down. They lowered the capacity of our brain down to just 5-6%. They shortened our life. We were living probably about 1,000 years. So how much wisdom can you acquire in, say, 80-90 years in comparison to how much you could acquire in, say, 900 to 1,200 years? You see, you'd be so incredibly wise by the end of your life, no one will be able to con or convince you of anything that's false, because you will have enough wisdom from the road to know the shit from Shinola. And
how crazy is that, right? They changed our lifespan, bro, to a lower number, because if we were alive long enough, they wouldn't be able to control us.
So that etheric sensitivity is the key to all that. Biologically. And so even though we were dumbed down biologically, we spiritually remain sensitive, and that is by design. That is, they purposely did that because these creatures eat God. And there are the...
Didn't I just say that by them allegedly saying that they eat our kids?
Reason why they prey upon us is to get access to this love and compassion energy that they cannot access. We are the intermediaries, meaning we allow them access to a form of God they cannot access on their own. And that is why we were farmed. That is why the children are tortured. The innocence is stolen from children, and all of this whole idea of downgrading the human being. This is so that they can continue to consume that innocence. We give them access to God because as pure evil, they cannot access love. And so they access that love through the consumption of children, through the consumption of the blood that is love that flows through us.
Fuck, isn't that just like a kick to your testes, dude? Just like your spiritual grapes, just oh, fuck, it's so true, bro. It's so true. It's so true.
You see, the Elohim were actually the ones who committed the original sin, and I mentioned this earlier. They committed the original sin. They blasphemed nature by altering our DNA. They altered the image of God by manipulating the DNA of an authentic being in development. This is a defilement of nature, God, the universe. Your DNA is your biological image of nature, God. And to manipulate this is to manipulate the work of the creative force.
DNA is just an abbreviation for a much longer name, deoxyribonucleic acid. That's what DNA stands for. Now, deoxy, see, that's a Latin root. If you trace its meaning, it means God. So deoxyribo, in the Semitic languages, ribo is the same as rabbi. Or in Arabic, we say Rab. It means the master, the Lord. So here we have deoxyribo, God, Lord, and Master. nucleic acid. Nucleic meaning at the center, and acid is like chemical fire. So deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA. What does it mean? God, Lord and Master, with fire at the center of my being.
Nature is the creative force or God manifesting, incarnating, transmogrifying into material matter. To coerce the creative force genetically is to blaspheme the work of God. If I'm an abuser and I want to hold my victim in contempt and I want them to remain my victim, I blame them for the abuses that I put upon them. So I tell them it's their fault if I'm the abuser. I tell the victim, my victim, I tell them that it's their fault that they're being punished because they did something bad. And so they deserve the punishment that they're getting. And eventually the victim will believe it. They'll believe that they deserve to be abused.
Crazy. All right. We're 2 hours in. You guys want to do some breath work? I want to do like a breathing meditation or something. We're gonna finish God Eaters on Monday, bro. We're gonna finish God Eaters on Monday. Peace out. There's just so much Wim Hof. Let's just do maybe a breathing chakra meditation. 15-minute chakra balance guided meditation. Are you guys down for this? Well, looks like it's what I'm gonna do anyways. I need some breathing in my life, bro. Disclaimer. Please pause to read. Never listen to or play while driving or operating equipment. Always select an environment that is safe and secure. The audio products have been developed to assist you and give no guarantee. You yourself can be the only person that can provide a guarantee for your own success. Our meditations do not under any circumstance diagnose any illness or conditions, nor do they purport to replace the treatment of a medical doctor or a psychotherapist. You should suspect that you are suffering from an suspect you're suffering from an undiagnosed illness or condition, we strongly recommend you to speak with your primary care physician. What the fuck? Our meditations are not recommended for persons experiencing mental disorders or illnesses without consulting a therapist. What the fuck? What is this gonna do to me, bro? What is this gonna do to me, bro?
Take a moment to find a comfortable seated position with your back straight and your feet firmly planted on the ground. As you close your eyes, you begin taking a few deep breaths. Feeling the rise and fall of your chest. You allow your awareness to begin to drift inwards. As you begin to tune in to your natural breathing pattern. Letting your breath flow at its own rhythm. Feeling the harmony between the ebb and flow of each passing breath. As you continue to connect with your breath, bring your attention to the first chakra, located at the base of your spine. As you focus on this chakra, you may begin to feel its glowing red ball of light energy. Take a few deep breaths, feeling this light growing brighter and stronger. Allow this light energy to heal the connection between the earth and your body. Now, bring your attention to the second chakra, located just below your navel. As you focus on this chakra, you begin to feel its glowing orange ball of light energy. Take a few deep breaths, feeling this light growing brighter and stronger. Allow this light to heal the connection to your emotions and inner creativity. Next, bring your attention to the third chakra, located in your solar plexus. As you focus on this chakra, you begin to feel its glowing yellow ball of light energy. Take a few deep breaths, feeling this light growing brighter and stronger. Allow this light to heal the connection to your personal power and sense of self. Now bring your attention to the fourth chakra, located in your heart. As you focus on this chakra, you begin to feel its glowing green ball of light energy. Take a few deep breaths, feeling this light growing brighter and stronger. Allow this light to heal your connection to love and compassion. Bringing your attention to the fifth chakra, located in your throat. As you focus on this chakra, you begin to feel its glowing blue ball of light energy. Take a few deep breaths, feeling this light growing brighter and stronger. Allow this light to heal the connection to your truth and your ability to speak your truth. Bring your awareness to the space between your eyebrows, the location of the sixth chakra, also known as your third eye. Imagine a beautiful indigo light shining brightly at this point. And as you inhale, visualize this indigo light growing stronger and brighter. As you exhale, feel the light spreading throughout your entire being, filling you with a sense of clarity and insight. yourself to quiet your mind and feel the inner wisdom of your third eye chakra. You may ask, what do I need to know right now? Or what is my highest truth? And see what insights come to you. Trust whatever answers or thoughts arise, and allow them to guide you. Now, bring your awareness to the top of your head, the location of the 7th chakra, also known as the crown. Imagine a beautiful violet light shining brightly at this point. As you inhale, visualize this violet light growing stronger and brighter. As you exhale, feel the light spreading throughout your entire being, filling you with a sense of spirituality and connection to the divine. You allow yourself to let go of your ego and any sense of separation from the universe. Imagining yourself as part of a greater whole, connected to all beings and the divine. Feel a sense of unity and oneness with all of creation.
Join me in a breath hold for as long as you can hold your breath. On the exhale, hold your breath for as long as you can.
As you continue to breathe deeply, imagine all of these chakras glowing brightly and harmoniously. Feel a sense of balance and well-being in your body and mind. Taking in a few more deep breaths.
Breathe in and hold it.
Allowing yourself to settle into the present moment.
I can feel the energy between my hands.
Feeling yourself come back.
My whole body's vibrating, bro.
Into your physical body. And when you are ready, slowly open your eyes.
I already did that, buddy.
Remembering the feelings of balance and harmony.
I feel powerful, bro, if I'm being honest with you, bro. For all of you guys that joined me for that, bro. That joined me right now in this real moment. I hope you can feel the energy that is entangled between our particles, bro. Some of us may have cried. Some of us feel electrified. Some of us feel calm. Some of us feel peace. But most importantly, I just hope you know I love you, bro. I feel love. I feel calm. I feel connected. I feel lighter. This is how Team Human works. I hope that you really enjoyed today's stream. I hope you enjoy it if you're seeing it now, if you're seeing it later. These Friday meditations, breathworks are gonna be an every week thing from now on. I just really like doing them. They make me feel like I can take on the cosmos. They make me feel divine, electric, connected, and coherent. I love you, Team Human. I'll see you guys on Monday.